Thanks for joining us for another edition of From the Frontlines. I'm joined today by Lynn Workenthien. She's the Curricular Director at Sheridan Community Schools. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, we're going to talk today a little bit about mental health because we know that this year has been like no other. We've had kids who've been hybrid learning, virtual learning, and that isolation really can trigger a lot of depression and anxiety. So what are you guys doing there at Sheridan Community Schools to keep our minds of our kids good and healthy?
Sure. We spent a lot of time this summer talking about the social, emotional, and mental health needs of our students because we know that, the pandemic has caused a rise in depression and anxiety and isolation and loneliness. So we have an SEL, social emotional learning team at Sheridan. We have for a couple of years. So over the summer, we met, sorry, that's my daughter. We met this summer and we came up with like a reopening plan with social emotional learning. And it had, for each level K through 12, it had 5 lessons, one for each day to kind of like make sure we're focusing on students' needs, like checking in on their emotions and how do we regulate our emotions? And, what are our emotional needs? And we also had some resources for teachers that they could use in their classrooms if they wanted. So we made sure that we were focusing on student needs reopening and then also throughout the school year too. Like we went to virtual for 2 weeks and we made sure that we had like resources for teachers on how to make sure they're checking in with students and making time for collaboration even while virtual, just to make sure that those social and emotional needs are met for students because it's very important.
So how are they doing? I mean, I think we surprised ourselves by making it this far into the school year. They're just fresh back from a couple weeks off for the holidays. How is the state of mind of the students and the staff there in Sheridan Schools?
Sure. I think that there is definitely some stress and some chronic stress that we're all feeling at this point in the pandemic. It's always like, okay, are we going to have to go to virtual? Are we going to get a couple new cases, or are we going to be able to to stay in person school? I think it also differs on the level. Like we from all the conversations we've had, elementary and middle school students seem to be a bit more like sheltered from what's really going on with the pandemic because they're in person, and they're in a lot of ways living their regular lives. But it's the high school students that seem to be struggling more, especially those that feel like they're missing out on regular opportunities like a homecoming dance and, things like that. So our teachers are feeling it too. And we make sure that we really focus on teacher self-care and mental health as well. We have some Wellness Wednesdays with teachers that have kind of gotten a bit derailed because of COVID, but we've done yoga together and cupcake decorating. And we hopefully someday we'll be able to go out for a meal together. So we try to make sure we focus on teachers too, because, it's like that analogy on the airline. If you don't give yourself oxygen first, you won't be able to give oxygen to the person next to you. So you have to take care of yourself.
You did hit on an interesting topic, and I think most kids just are social creatures, but especially teenagers, and losing that time with their friends, their classmates, peers, that I can see that in my own kids being incredibly daunting. So if they find that they're, maybe not great, what resources are available to them? Do they know where to go in the school to get some help?
Sure. That's something that we're definitely working on as well as our like comprehensive mental health supports for students. But we just recently took a survey called Panorama in our district, and it was asking students like, do you have an adult that cares about you in the district that you know that you can go to ask for help? And we were really, really pleased with our numbers that our students do know that they have someone they can go to. We've got counselors working hard for them every single day. We have a mental health coordinator now. We also have a really strong youth assistance program that we coordinate with all the time. So we do feel like, and part of it is that we're a small school, so everyone knows everyone. We do feel like we take care of each other really well.
And you were telling me about a new course that you offer there at the high school for kids. Tell me about that.
Yes, we have a teacher, Abby Williams, who has been going through the Mindful Schools curriculum, and it's a new elective at the high school. And she has 2 full sections of students where they focus on mindfulness and other just like overall well-being practices. And she's also had the opportunity to go teach some mindfulness practices in 4th grade, the middle school special education program, and some high school health classes. So we're really working on, it's one of our goals is to work on integrating social, emotional, and mental health practices all throughout our district into, our classes and everything that we do, because we do care about the well-being of our students and our staff.
Yeah, and I get to thinking too that beyond even just the stressors of will I be in school? Will I have to quarantine? How long will I have to quarantine? A lot of these kids are also working through some other pretty big problems, like maybe a parent losing a job or food insecurity. Talk about the kinds of support that's available for those kiddos too.
Yes, absolutely. Other than, our counselors, they have like a cabinet of anything students might need for their own well-being, like deodorant and things like that. Like I said, our Sheridan Youth Assistance Program, led by Lisa Samuels, has been so integral in helping all of our students succeed. And, we teachers and counselors coordinate with her to make sure students have what they need. And it really does work to make sure that our students have what they need. Plus, since we are in school every day, unless students are fully virtual, they are able to get breakfast and lunch for free for everyone. So that helps everyone. And virtual students as well are able to get lunches too.
Nice. So what can parents do if they're seeing their kids struggle, not sure how to give them the support they need? Because quite honestly, the parents may be struggling a little bit too.
Yes, absolutely. I would say first thing is to reach out to your school's counselor, because they are the ones who have all of the resources and all of the help. They can talk to your student, they can give you help and give you tips. They're probably the front lines of all of that. That would be the first step.
Great. Lynn Workenthien, Curriculum Director for Sheridan Community Schools. Thank you for your insight and good luck in the coming months.
Thank you.